Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another team builder video. So today we are going to be doing a team builder for the TBL Season 6 Week 3. Now we haven't had the best start, and looking at it, I versed up against two of the strongest competitors in this league probably. Obviously this league's full of insanely talented battlers, but yeah, like two of the top tier Pokemon players. Yeah, I was against them this week, and it was a problem. If you haven't checked out the last video, please go and check that out. Obviously, I recommend you watch that. I made a stupid miscalc on things, and I don't understand how I did it, but I did. And things like that happen. But yeah, and I'm going to tell you flat out, there has been a change to the Boston Regirox that because I'm stupid, did not see. I started planning for the team before the doc was updated, and that was my fault. So he has got the Blossom. I thought he had Lunatone, which actually is slightly better for me in terms of everything except the Rotom Wash. But yeah, I could definitely see the Blossom coming. Now that I've just seen that, but I do have things that can potentially deal with it. Kind of, not really, but oh well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, the Boston Regirox. We have got Kyurem, terrifying, Raikou, Crobat, Incineroar, Claydol, Blossom, Clefable, Blastoise, Passimian, and Klinklang. So, Kyurem, absolutely terrifying, can now get Dragon Dance in Generation 8, which makes it so much more scary than it already was. And things like Choice Specs can more or less demolish my team if he wants to. You've got Raikou, which I'm not too concerned about. Kind of my team can sort of deal with him, or deal with it, because I think it's gentlest. But yeah, like Raikou, I'm not too concerned. Crobat could be a problem. I have seen that Joe last week did bring Crobat with Nasty Plot. He did a really quirky set, which is actually really cool. Baton passing the Cosmic Powers from Clefable onto the Crobat, which was really cool. And then go for Nasty Plot, which was a fantastic move. We've got Incineroar. That could potentially be problematic, especially for my physical Pokemon. We've got Claydol, which I think I can deal with quite okay. It's not the worst thing in the world to see. Blossom, as I said, I didn't really plan for it, but I have got a couple of moves thinking about it that can deal with it. I think the Blossom mostly deals with my Rotom Wash, and partly deals with a switch on Earthquake with Excadrill if he's expecting me to be like banded or scarfed or something. Clefable could be a problem. Clefable is so versatile, you can do so many different things that, yeah, I need to be careful with that. Blastoise, I've used before. Blastoise is a fantastic Pokemon. Can be really scary. Passimian is a really fantastic Pokemon as well. If it's Choice Scarfed, it can wreck through my team with relative ease. And then Klinklang. Klinklang can actually do a little bit of work to my team. I'll be grateful if the Klinklang doesn't come. So, yeah. My team. Let's talk about my team a little bit. If you can hear things in the background, I apologise. I'm hoping that my microphone doesn't pick them up, but I've got like my bathroom's around there, and I've got the extraction fan going at the minute, and it's just making a really loud noise. So I don't know if you can hear it. If you can't, good. If you can, then hopefully it's not too loud. Right. So this week's team. First up, I have got Dragonite with Dragon Dance. Now, I do need to be careful with the fact that this team could run Trick Room. Because you've got Claydol could definitely set up the Trick Room, and he has got, outside of like Raikou and Crobat, Pokemon that are a little bit slower and can be problematic if we're in a Trick Room. So something I do need to make sure that I pay attention to, but I have got a lot of not speed invested Pokemon this week as well, so it should be fine. Now, Dragonite, as I said, Dragon Dance, +1 in the attack and speed. If I can get to +2, I can basically sweep the team, but I probably will only be able to get to +1 if I'm honest. And +1, I think, takes out Kyurem, or has a chance, I think it has like a 60% chance to take out Kyurem with Iron Head, and I think it's a 100% chance if we've got the Stealth Rocks up, which I have got Stealth Rocks on my team this week. Heavy Shoe Boots, honestly, as I was planning with the Lunatone in spot of the Blossom, I thought he has 3 Pokemon that can set up Stealth Rocks, so I need to be prepared for those because they can cause me problems, especially with Dragonite coming in and its multi-scale being broken. So heavy duty boots is important, and Claydol is a very common Pokemon to run Stealth Rocks, and I think probably could definitely come. We've got Earthquake, powerful ground type attack, hits a variety of different Pokemon. Obviously hitting the Raikou for super effective damage, hitting the Incineroar for super effective damage. Hits the Clefable. Oh no, the Clefable is hit by Iron Head. Hits the Klinklang for super effective damage. Persimmon probably doesn't really want to stay in against Dragonite in case I've got the Dual Wing Beat, because Dual Wing Beat will just destroy it. Iron Head takes on the Kyurem. I did originally have Dragon Claw, because Dragon Claw does a little bit more, but I thought Iron Head actually works slightly better, because I only have 4 moves, and I needed like 7. So I kind of went for the as minimal as possible moves as to what I could cover the most of. And Iron Head covers for the Kyurem, it covers for the Clefable if that wants to try and switch in, and also can hit like the Claydol for neutral damage. You can hit the Blossom for neutral damage. I'm pretty sure at +1. The Blossom definitely doesn't want to take it because its defense is poor from what I can remember. The Claydol is probably going to be a problem, let's be honest. And then Thunder Punch just hits the Crobat, it hits the Blastoise, and yeah, both of those are super effective damage, so that could be really helpful. At like +1, I think the Crobat just goes straight down from the Thunder Punch, or it's a roll for it just to go straight down. So yeah, that's my idea there. With regards to EVs, I'm running... I'm running maximum possible attack, I'm running the Adamant Nature, so as much attack as possible, and then I'm running 180 in speed. Now, this does allow for me to outspeed something. I think... I can't actually remember. I think it's the Crobat. It allows me to outspeed at +1. It might be allowing me to outspeed something else, but I've got my numbers all on here, and hopefully, because I have written down what it outspeeds. It outspeeds Lunatone. So the Pokemon that I planned for, which I put my hands up and say that was my mistake, but at +1 it allows it to outspeed the Crobat. It outspeeds the Crobat by like 3 or 4. And not that I'd expect the Crobat to go timid unless it's trying to outspeed, if I predicted it to be, or timid or jolly, or if I predicted it to be like a attack boosting nature, but honestly I can't see that happening if I am completely honest. But yeah, that's Dragonite. That is Dragonite. We're going to Excadrill now. Now, Excadrill, I think this week is definitely my win con. I think every week it's been my win con, and I've just completely let it go down for no reason. This one, I really struggled with what item to put on it. I've got the Life Orb on it, allowing it for it to have a little bit more power. But originally, I'm still in 2 minds. I've literally got 2 hours till the battle. I'm still in 2 minds, and I kind of want to put Adrenaline Orb on it, because the Incineroar probably switches into Excadrill, because Excadrill is a problem. Excadrill, with its normal attack, can really just break through the team. And if it switches in, that Adrenaline Orb would activate, allowing me to get a +1 on my speed without having to use Rapid Spin, and I could probably Swords Dance predicting the switch in to get the Intimidate off. So that's something that I definitely thought about, but then I thought it's just a little bit too situational. That Incineroar, does it come in on an Earthquake is the thing, and realistically what Pokemon comes in is probably Blastoise. Blastoise is probably designed... Well, I mean, Blastoise comes in, I kind of have to switch out unless I'm at +2, and at which that point I probably still switch out, because that's a problem. And then the same with like Persimmon. If Persimmon comes in, he might be bluffing a Scarf, but if he is Scarf, that just flat out takes me out, so I kind of have to switch out. So it was too situational for my liking. If he gets a Intimidate off at some point, then obviously I can just switch out. Obviously, if I've set up Swords Dance, that could be a problem, but in most cases it should be fine. So Life Orb, boosting my damage. I've got Mold Breaker, allowing for me to hit that Claydol with Earthquake. The only thing that doesn't take an Earthquake is the Crobat here, and if he ever goes for Roost or Crobat, which is a possibility, I could definitely catch him off guard and just go for the EQ, whilst he tries to get that health back. That would be a ballsy play, but, you know, we'll see what happens. And then Iron Head is just the coverage on there as well. So Iron Head destroys Kyurem, I think. I think that actually needs to be +1 to take it on 1 hit. We've got Earthquake, which... Actually, no, I think it does take up Kyurem in 1 hit, the Iron Head. Obviously, I don't speed Kyurem naturally, so if I can get the +1 with the Rapid Spin there, that could be really helpful. Raikou, I think, just straight goes down to the Earthquake. Crobat, I can hit really hard with the Iron Head. Well, relatively hard with the Iron Head. It can hit me somewhat hard with Brave Bird, so that could be a slight problem, but it can't do too much to me. Obviously, I resist its... Well, I'm immune to its poison type attack. Incineroar, as I said, it can intimidate me, but even with an intimidate, if it's max HP, max special defense, there is still a significant chance I take it out. I think it was like 50-50, so yeah, that's a possibility there. Claydol, as I said, the Mold Breaker's there, so I can hit an Earthquake on the Claydol. I think I guaranteedly need at least 2 to hit the Claydol. Clefable, I think it takes 2 Iron Heads, but honestly, does the Clefable stay in against an Excadrill? I don't know. Blastoise is a problem. I think I do outspeed Blastoise naturally. I do need to double check that before the match. If it gets a Shell Smash off, then Blastoise could be a problem, but I have got other Pokemon on my team that can hit it relatively hard. Persimmon, as I said, if that's Choice Scarfed, then it's a problem, but I do outspeed it if it's not Choice Scarfed. And then Klinklang, I don't think Klinklang can do too much to me. It can try and hit me with a Shift Gear. No, Shift Gear is the attack. Not the attack, it's the raising stats one. It can hit me with like Gear Grind or something, but ultimately it doesn't really do too much to Excadrill, so Klinklang isn't really much of a problem because Klinklang just doesn't get many attacks, which is annoying, but you know, it's pretty cool there. So, third one we've got is Rotom Wash. Now, Rotom Wash is kind of a little bit different this week. I've gone for Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, which are my usuals, and then I've gone for Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave allows for me to hit the Kyurem and to slow it down if it's Dragon Dancing, because then that causes... excuse me, that was my chair. Because that then causes it to be slow enough, and if I can do it without it Dragon Dancing, so for example, if it's just a Choice Specs variant, I can then just use my Thunder Wave, slow it down, and get it to the point where Excadrill can outspeed it and hit it with Iron Head, or even Dragonite can outspeed it. So yeah, Thunder Wave could be really handy on that, and Kyurem could definitely switch in on a Rotom Wash. That could be his switch in. Blossom's also a really good switch in to Rotom Wash. Claydol is potentially, but again, there's a 50-50 chance, and it could go very wrong. And then Claydol can't do too much to me. The Earthquake obviously doesn't hit me, or the Earth Power doesn't hit me. Yeah, I hit the Blastoise. This is kind of my thing that helps deal with Blastoise a lot more than anything else. Also, I can hit that with Thunderbolt. But yeah, this is hopefully going to get a Thunder Wave off on the Kyurem if it's... well, no, in any case, I'd like to get a Thunder Wave on the Kyurem. Kyurem, if it's Choice Spec, I think just flat takes me out with Freeze Dry. So, but if it's that case, then I don't have to worry about the Thunder Wave because I've got Pokemon that are faster than it to take it out. So, that's less of a concern. EVs, I went for max HP, max special attack, modest nature, but I put some investment in defense just in case it is a Dragon Dance variant. I think if it's like +1, I can live a hit quite happily. +2, you're getting a bit problematic, but as I said, the Thunder Wave really slows that down back to its normal speed, meaning that I can potentially come in with like Mienshao Shell later on and really break it. Moving on to Azelf. Now, Azelf was the one I really struggled with this week. I knew it fit into the team, and I didn't know how to fit it in properly. I needed Stealth Rock. I need Stealth Rocks on this team. I need to break down some of the damage. Sorry, no, I need to damage a little bit on different Pokemon to just really kind of do stuff, I suppose. Crobat, I'm expecting to be Heavy Duty Boots, but this is mostly for the Kyurem. If the Kyurem is Heavy Duty Boots, then it's a lot less scary than it would be, unless it's Dragon Dance. Unless it's Dragon Dance, to which it then becomes a problem. But Kyurem, I can deal with Dazzling Gleams, 2-hit KO. Psychic hits the Crobat. I do take a lot of damage to the Crobat. I take like 70% damage to Crobat, which is absolutely incredible and disgusting. Yeah, Incineroar I switch out on. I honestly, I want to lead Azelf, but I know the Incineroar is probably the lead as well, so it could be a problem there, potentially. But my coverage here, Dazzling Gleam, Psychic, and Shadow Ball, just hits at least everything for neutral damage. And obviously, with a Focus Sash, I can definitely live one hit from something, whether that be like a knockoff from Incineroar, which I think I naturally live anyways, but I was thinking more along the lines of if I go for Stealth Rocks, he goes for Parting Shot, then I can just get Azelf out of there, get something else in, and then as Elf can come in later game. Let's say that we've got Kurum that's set up to +2. I can then start to do some shenanigans, potentially with Dazzling Gleam. Obviously it doesn't do enough to kill, but if I've kind of got in a position, then that can be okay. Also another switch into an Earth Power from Claydol, which this thing kind of like hard walls Claydol, unless it's running Shadow Ball. But I'm running Shadow Ball as well, and I think I have the higher power output there, so it shouldn't be too bad. EVs, 212, I'm running 212, that's outspeed Kurum if it's maximum speed possible. So yeah, outspeeding Kurum is kind of my idea there. There's not really much else to say. I did consider weakness policy, but I just couldn't get behind it. Because I don't think, even with the weakness policy, the Incineroar, even at +2, I think still takes a couple of hits, and I'm not taking a couple of hits from Incineroar, so that was kind of my thought process against going for the weakness policy. Right, second to last one, we've got Mienshao. Now, I think Mienshao could be really handy here. I'm going to try and conserve Mienshao's Choice Scarf. Again, this could potentially be my lead, depending on what he's bringing, I think, or what I'm feeling in the moment. Choice Scarf, super fast. Inner Focus, because the Incineroar, I did consider Regenerator, but I thought Inner Focus probably works a little bit better because he would try. I feel like he would try and bring in the Incineroar onto the Mienshao to try and get the Intimidate off. But obviously that's not going to work, so that, and the Fake Out as well. If it's Fake Out Incineroar, that's not going to be doing too much damage to me. Close Combat completely destroys Kurum unless it is really, really bulky, at which point I don't really have to be too concerned about it. Poison Jab, it's just a coverage move. It hits the Clefable if I just ever need that option. It also hits the Blossom, so I have got a move to actually hit the Blossom. Stone Edge just covers the things like Crobat. Crobat can do a lot of damage to me. I'm not expecting Crobat to be Scarfed. If Crobat's Scarfed, then I don't understand. If Crobat's Scarfed, then I will eat my hat. I know I don't have a hat, but I will eat my hat because it doesn't make sense to have a Scarf Crobat unless it's specifically to counter Scarf Mienshao. But even then, I'm sure he could have other thoughts on how to deal with my Mienshao, particularly things like Clefable. And then U-turn as well. This is kind of where I want to consider going for the lead and go for the U-turn straight off and just see what I can do, or obviously if I get a good matchup. I'm not sure that I want to show that I'm Scarfed, so if he led with Crobat, which I really doubt he would lead with, then obviously I don't necessarily want to show my Scarf straight away, but I could definitely U-turn out on that just to get some chip damage, but that's something that I'd have to consider when I'm actually in the match. And at that point I'll probably go into probably Rotom Wash, potentially. But yeah, that's kind of the thought process for Mienshao. I don't know what his speed is. His speed allows it to outspeed Kurum. I'm sorry, it's getting late for me. It's 10 past 10. The match is in an hour and 50 minutes. So, you know, I'm really tired. So I wouldn't be shocked if this goes bad. Now, I have brought Alcremie. Alcremie is really interesting because it's got really high special defense and pretty good special attack and can recover itself. So, you know, this thing can wall a Choice Specs Kurum. If I come in, so I let something go down. I come in, it goes for Ice Beam. I go for Calm Mind because the leftovers heals me up enough that I then have the ability to live after a Calm Mind. So he Ice Beams me, I Calm Mind, then he Ice Beams me again, I live, and I use Recover, and then depending on what my percentages are, I go for either the Calm Mind again just to get a little bit higher, or he probably switches out at that point because he knows he can't get through that, and probably goes into Crobat if it's still there. But then I've got the Psychic to predict that in case he does decide to go for that, because the Psychic completely destroys it, and I think, like, even if it goes for like Cross Poison, I didn't check Sludge Bomb. I think Sludge Bomb doesn't do much because obviously I'm bulky as anything, unless it's like a nasty plot, but I don't think I'm ever going to bring Alcremie in on the Crobat unless it's, you know, like death scenario. But yeah, that's kind of my thought process there. Hopefully that pays off. Obviously, if the Kurum is physical, then Alcremie is a little more worthless in this scenario, unless he goes for like, I guess Claydol is normally special, Blossom, always special, and if Lex tries to get Quiver Dance up, I suppose I have got something to deal with it in that respect. Blastoise could be physical or special. I feel like Joe veers more towards the physical Blastoise, so again, I could end up not having that. It deals with Passimian. I don't think Passimian can do too much outside of Gunk Shot me, which I think Gunk Shot probably actually takes me out. And Klinklang, Klinklang is a problem. Klinklang is a huge problem. Hopefully he doesn't bring it, and I don't know if he will, because I think Klinklang only really deals with 2 of my Pokemon, and that's Alcremie and Aurorus, and neither of them have actually come yet. So if Klinklang comes, I will be interested. Klinklang can't deal with Rotom Wash. It can't deal with Excadrill very well. Mienshao destroys it. Dragonite, it can do some stuff to it, but again, Dragonite can mess it up. So I can't see the Klinklang coming necessarily, but if it does, that does lead me to a little bit of a problem with Alcremie. Yeah, I think that's all. My mind is a little bit fried, as you can tell. I'm quite nervous. At the end of the day, one of the 2 of us, is going to go 0-3. And I wouldn't be too fast to go 0-3. Let's face it, I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be tired. This is another hour and a half. And I'm going to do some recording between then to try and keep my energy up. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's an entertaining match nonetheless. Hopefully, he doesn't just bring Kurum in and Dragon Dance's turn 1 and then just 6-0s me. That would be not embarrassing, but you know, it's just a little bit scary. But yeah, I'm going to finish this off here. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Do you think I'm going to win? Do you think I'm going to lose? Let me know down in the comments section below. Yeah, I'm going to finish this off. So please do like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you soon.